people say that ghosts are not real, like they are just sleep paralysis experiences and night terror experiences and all that because they are just hallucinations, and then it explains it all, but that's just not true.
And we have looked and looked for haunted houses, for ghosts in cemeteries, for psychics who believe they're in touch with people who are dead. And there's absolutely no credible evidence. There's no reason to believe that there are ghosts or life after death.
You didn't look deep enough, Bill Nye. Just watch this, I'm gonna prove it to you. And yeah, okay, you know, it fits it extremely well, like sleep paralysis experience is this scary figure coming into your room, and like you see it go by and it does stuff, and night terror as well. It's basically the same, and many people have them, and it's exactly like that. But well, for example, many people say that they see these things while still being able to move. So how is it sleep paralysis? Like, it's in the name, sleep paralysis, you cannot move. Although the other day I just had an experience like that where I went to sleep and I was like very tired, and I didn't want to go into one of these lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis experiences, and I started to move my hand and open my eyes, and I could do that, I could move, but still, like, at the very moment that I closed my eyes, it just went back to the experience, and it continued. Like, I felt my body lifting up, and it didn't stop. Normally it does, like I need to be still for this to continue, but this time no, and so, you know, you can definitely experience this while moving, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, and also night terror is like you can move while having night terror.
The thing I was going to ask, have you ever did a thing to where you're like laying in bed, you know, Marty's just beside you, and you turn and look at her, and like her face looks scary? Well, this happened one time. Like, I was like, I was laying in bed and like turned over, and she was like awake, and she was like blinking at me, but the face that I saw looked like scary, and I was like, I like jumped and like put my hand on her face, like I was like stiff on arm like a sports player. It's like poof, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh God, you looked scary for a second. I'm sorry."
And she bent over me and was like a little bit shaking me, I guess, or something like that. And then I woke up, and what I saw was not her. I saw a witch-like, you know, these sleep paralysis demon stuff, I would guess. But it wasn't sleep paralysis, at least not in the usual sense, because I could move. And so I pushed her away, and basically for a couple of seconds it wasn't her, and then I, like, as I pushed her away, I woke up. I mean, that still doesn't disprove that they are ghosts, because just think about it, like, just because you can give it a name, like it's just night terror, it's just a sleep paralysis, just because we know like why they happen and what they are and stuff like that, that doesn't mean that it's not a ghost. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Just because you have a name for it, it still can be a ghost. Like, it doesn't disprove the fact that it can be a ghost. Like, just because it's a hallucination, it doesn't mean that that hallucination is not a ghost. And then there are many videos on YouTube, and you can see the ghosts clearly. And there are many experiences from people not even close to sleeping slow, so like waking up from sleep and going to the door and hearing stuff, for example.
It was terrifying. It really was probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. For a brief second, I really thought I was going to die.
But I mean, yeah, there are experiences where the whole family hears and sees stuff and is scared. So it's not like a one person experience. So you can't explain it by being a hallucination of one person if everyone hears it, right? And those are the most scary stories, where you can't be like, yeah, it's just hallucination, yeah, she just didn't sleep for a long time and now she's hearing stuff. And like if the whole family hears it, you can't just say that it's just hallucination. It's not.
My sister said that she'd woken up and she could hear this noise. She opened up her door, the cushions are on the floor, the rocking chair's going, and the dog's being odd in the kitchen, and the hatch is open. She came to my room then to say, I don't like this, can I sleep in your bed? I feel really bad now. I said no, and she slept in the bath. My dad slept in her room, and he said the next morning, this is when they started to admit to it. The next morning, my dad said, I'm not sleeping in that room again. Every time I fell asleep, I felt like someone's face was like that in my face, and I couldn't take it.
And yeah, you could say that maybe sleep disorders like sleep paralysis and sleepwalking are also genetically like inherited from parents to children. So maybe in a family, if one has a sleep disorder, it's likely that the other ones have it as well. But and maybe her sister was a sleepwalker as well and messed up the cushions and then went back to bed and then was scared. And yeah, you could say that. And then his father, what he described, maybe it's exactly like sleep paralysis, but like if you think through it, like which one is more likely, because for the sleep disorder stuff you need a lot of coincidence to happen for it to be convincing, and the ghost stuff, it's just exactly explains it. So and also like what happens to people when they die. Well, tell me. Of course they become ghosts, and yeah, there are ghosts, like you know, there are all these movies, like did they just make it all up? No, they didn't. And there are all these videos on YouTube of ghosts, like, you know, it's not just experiences, there is evidence. There are YouTube channels dedicated to hunting ghosts, and they have all these electric devices to actually record their presence. So there is definitive proof that they do exist, and there are many ghost stories which are very convincing, and like nobody can deny that, and I don't deny that. Like I don't. Of course I don't. So I don't even know. Like it's just the government doesn't want us to know, but we know. You know. Like don't come to the comments. Don't come commenting like, oh, but they are not real, you're stupid. No, shut the fuck up. But UFOs, no, I'm not crazy, I don't believe that. Like that's just concretely explained by sleep paralysis, and like, you know, and all the feeling that you have that when you fall asleep consciously, it just like your body is lifting up, and maybe you are getting dragged out of the room. That's or your body is rolling, and you are seeing things very vividly. It's basically the feeling that you have. Like I just had it the other way. I mean, it's the same, and it explained like these figures and all that. It's exactly explained. Like I'm not crazy. It's not like UFOs are like ghosts. You know, it's of course UFOs that don't exist. Although nowadays, like videos are coming out from official sources that show clearly unpixelated videos of UFOs circling around Navy, around ships, and just now came out a video where like many of these UFOs underwater are like circling around these ships, So I mean, maybe UFOs are real, because like if they are so intelligent, they might know that we have these nightly experiences where we feel our body lift up and they, you know, all that, and flashy lights and stuff, and so they come into their room and they can, in calm, just take us away, you know, and then and when they're done, they just put us back, and we will be like, yeah, maybe I just hallucinated that, you know, or if we are like, this happened to me, then everyone else thinks like we are just crazy, because everyone knows that it was just hallucination, and so if the UFOs are like so intelligent, then of course they just come and do it, and they don't care, because they know that we will not believe anyone, or we will think it's hallucination because it happens to us anyway. So I mean, I don't know, maybe UFOs are also real. And I'm not joking, I'm not.